Hi, I'm David with Dash, and today we're going to talk about a Samsung dryer. We're going to go over a couple different problems that I see with these Samsung dryers. I see a lot of dryers that will squeak, not heat, that won't tumble anymore. It's taking too long to dry, and the timer is not working properly. So to start diagnosing this, we need to pop it open. And it's missing half the screws. To pop it open, you just need to move both these little clips. So to take off this door, we need to unclip it. With these two clips. To take this door off, you've got to unscrew it first. Once you've taken the screws out, you can unclip it now. Make sure you disconnect your wire harnesses and your door switch. Move them off to the side. Take your door assembly, go lay it on a moving blanket. And now we have somewhat our inside so far. Now we're going to take off our front assembly of the drum. Make sure you undo that wire harness. Take out all the screws around here. The one down here. And now you can pop it off. Set it off to the side. Now you want to take your drum out. Make sure you take your belt off the pulley. Take your belt off, inspect it, make sure it looks good. Make sure there's no cracks or fraying. Now take your drum out. Set it off to the side. This is the inside of your Samsung dryer. You have your cycling thermostat side, your blower housing, your motor, and then you have your heat side, which is your heating element assembly that has your high limit switch and cutoff thermostat. When you open this up and you're looking for a heating problem, you will check out your heating side. To check out to see if you have a bad heating circuit, take off your blue wire of your cutoff side. Take off the red wire of your 110 coming in. Once you've taken those two off, get your multimeter and check the resistance between the two areas you just took off. If you have resistance through that, your heating circuit is just fine. If you do not, then you need to limit it down more. To check to see if your heating element is good, check your heating element terminals. If you have resistance on it, it's good. If it has no resistance, it is bad. Also, a good thing to check is to make sure your heating element isn't grounded off to the frame. So take on your probe to one terminal connector and touch the casing. If you have resistance, it is grounding off and is bad. If you don't have resistance, it means it's not grounding off and it's doing good. To check your high limit cutoff, check both terminal connectors and see if you have resistance. If you have resistance between the two, it is good. If you do not, it is bad and it cannot be reset. Also, what to check on these that go bad is high screeching noises. The high screeching noises usually come from the moving parts. So you have 4 rollers, 2 in back, 2 in the front. of the unit. And then you also have an idler pulley that is a moving part. You want to make sure all of them spin nice and free without any screeching noise. If the idler pulley is not spinning freely, take it off. As you take it off, it has one screw that goes on the side of the bracket. You want to look at your idler pulley and make sure it's not gunked up or broken right here on the shaft. A lot of the updated idler pulleys on these Samsungs have a bearing on the inside instead of a bushing. If it has a bearing, that's a good one. If it has a bushing, they need to update it to the new bearing one. If you ever have a loud thumping noise coming from the dryer, then you want to check your squirrel cage. Oftentimes it is lint buildup on these fins. To get that off, you want to take off this cover. Once that cover is off, you want to make sure that none of these fins are cracked or bent or moved out of the way. Also want to make sure this nut stays nice and tight. And this is a left-handed thread, so to tighten it, you have to turn it counterclockwise. If that all looks good, time to put it back. Another thing to look at while you're in here is to make sure that your steam functions are looking okay and you do not have any dripping on this valve. This could drip on the inside and you wouldn't even know. Now I'm going to show you how to replace an element. First thing you want to do is remove all your connectors. Once you have them all removed, you want to take out this front screw. When you have that front screw removed, go ahead and take out the whole assembly. Okay, now to open up this assembly, you want to take off your cutoff, your high limit cutoff, and your high limit thermostat. And set them off to the side. Once you have those removed, you want to remove the screws around the housing. Once you have all those removed, you open up your assembly. Now you can see your heating element. To replace it, you need to remove both of these. To remove both of these, you want to bend these prongs straight and then pop them out. Once you have them popped out, remove your heating element assembly. Get the new one, inspect it. Make sure it's not bent or broken anywhere. Once you have it, line it back up. Once you have it lined up in there, go ahead and put your terminal connectors back through the insulator. Once they're through the insulator, make sure you bend those tabs up or down so it doesn't try to slide through back on you. Once they're nice and back in there, make sure you pull them from the other side and they don't want to come through. When those are together, you want to check these tabs and make sure they're straight up. When those tabs are straight up, you can put the cover back together. Put the cover back together. Those tabs you just moved up, make sure they go through those slots. Once they're through those slots, bend them down. And now just line up all your screws. Okay. Once we have that all back together, just put it in.